いいですか?戻ってきました? I saw it was reconnecting for a second. I think we're back, right? We'll never know the secrets of Tay. Tay. We're back. All right. So, this is the... I don't know where it came off, but... See, these are the double nuance. These are two nuances, two possible meanings that this could mean. But I really much like to translate it to this, got. Because got is ambiguous. And so if we can match the ambiguity of this, it's good. It really helps us understand. Nobody's really thinking about these things as we're saying it. Because it doesn't really matter. Hey, my mom got me a dress for my birthday. Like, whether or not you had her buy it, or she bought it of her own will, like, it doesn't really matter too much. Until it does, you know, or it's like, if it's important for some more deeper meaning in the conversation, well, then we start to talk about it. I know, you know, you wanted it and then you had her buy it for you. So, 欲しくて、これだって買ってもらったの? But that doesn't usually happen. And especially when you're just learning, not that important. So, my recommendation, if you're a beginner in Japanese, if you're not really like having complex conversations, split them up, okay? So if you want to say like, I had my mom get me a dress, then use 買ってもらった. And if you want to just say it was a gift, use 買ってくれた. I think it's much better to just split those into two, because really it's very minor and ambiguous. It's very small, very small. もう小さな違いで、あんまり変わらない。大体ね、あんまり変わらない。Doesn't really change too much. Alright. So, now let's look. Now we gotta do the descriptor thing. JD's mom bought him... Let's see. Let's not do JD. Kara's mom bought him a dress. Bought her a dress. How would we say that? 日本語で。日本語でなんて言うこれ? Do you see how this kind of gets harder all of a sudden? That's why Tei form, I think if textbooks introduce Tei kureru, ageru and stuff, they really need to be careful. It's just, it becomes much more complex, in my opinion. So before you even really get to that, we need to you need to firmly establish that we understand the basic usages of ageru, kureru, morau. Kara no okaa-san wa might not be wa. If anybody's watching and you still haven't followed, please feel free to follow. Would love to meet and chat with you again. If you're following and you have a Twitch Prime sub and you want to use it on me, please feel free to. Not save it for somebody else. Kara-san no okaa-san ga Kara-san ni dress o katta. Yeah, but it's a good guess, right? So what you said was... Right? And this is what a lot of people will do. What the heck? Why can't I copy that? Copy? Can't copy? Lame. Oh, is it? Love when stuff turns red, white. Okay. カラさんのお母さんがカラさんにドレスを買った。So, and this is what we can't do in Japanese, is when we're talking about this transfer of actions. When we're talking about this, he bought it for her, she bought it for him, he bought it for me. If we have any kind of giving, right? That's why we did the basics first, right? あげる、くれる、くれた、くれた、もらった。Okay? So that first tells us in this kind of situation where there's some kind of gift transfer, we need one of those. We need あげる、くれる, or もらう. And so it's not possible to say like カラさんのお母さんが買った. That's a blank statement. So using need doesn't fully imply that. It's close enough, I think, where people understand, but we need more. So お母さんが, what if we just said, right? Mom bought her dress. Let's try that. So we need からのお母さんが I wonder actually. I don't know. ドレスを買う。I want to avoid this. This is what textbooks do. My fault. Yes, this happens, but not too much, and it's better to first know nice dress. Yeah. Her mom bought it for her. This is what normally happens. Okara? Yeah, it wasn't a complete sentence. So, I think here I really want to say nice dress. Yeah, からのお母さんが How do we say this? So, nice dress. Yeah, her mom bought it for her. Her mom bought it for her. My apologies. The first example that I have is what textbooks do, and it's what makes it way more complicated than it really is, because it's very, very rare that you'd ever talk about it like that, unless you're like writing a story usually, because there's almost always context. You're pointing, you're looking, whatever it is. There's always some kind of context usually. All right, I gotta get going, so we'll do. I'll just show you. So, カノさん、母さんが買って、just 買ったの doesn't work. It can't. Sorry, it can work. からの So if I said, that's why I know this song. Okay. からのお母さんが買ったの. Yes. With the right context. With the right, where did you get that nosebleed? I got it from my father. Give it back. 素敵なドレスですね。はい、マナさん、ありがとうございます。お母さんから買ってもらった。お母さんから買ってもらったは言わない。お母さんに買ってもらった。お母さんに買ってもらった。素敵なドレス。素敵なドレス。ね。素敵なドレスですね。お母さんだね。お母さんから。Yes. So that's the difference. If we have just basic から、お母さんからもらった。That works. That works. But when it's お母さん、but when we have the te, or we have a verb to specify she bought it, she stole it, whatever, then our particle changes. We can't do kara anymore. We'll just make our own Japanese. So yeah, からのお母さんが買ったの. I'm trying to think of the context where that does work, because it does work. Yeah. Oh, you know, そのドレス新しい? Like, let's say me and Stalker are talking, and I say, "Ah, そのドレス新しいかな?" 新しい? And then Stalker says, からのお母さんが買ったの. Right? It's, that's fine. That's fine. So, お母さんからもらった. そう。それは大丈夫. That is fine. You can do that, but when we have to include a verb, like ni, we also need to change our particle. There. これ変えないといけない. So I'm just going to speed through some other ones. I'm just going to give you the examples. So 手あげる、手くれる、手もらう、right? JD が、ジョーにドライバーを買ってあげた。This is JD bought Joe a screwdriver. Right? Now, this is a textbook example. And so what really happens is we don't really have this first part a lot of the time. JD が Joe に. Usually doesn't happen. It's usually just, you know, Joe にそのドライバー買ってあげた. Yeah, usually it's just that last part because the other context is already established. You know, it doesn't really happen where you're just all of a sudden out of a blue like, oh, did JD buy Joe a new driver? A new screwdriver? あんまりない、それは。あんまりそれがない。はい。So just keep that in mind. It's always much easier in context, in time. So if we take that again, JD がJD がドライバーを買ってくれた。Always you, always you. So Joe is saying this now. Now Joe asked me a favor. He said, JD にドライバーを買ってもらった。And that's it. So really the big thing if you want to stick with these is you got to really remember the particles. And if you can remember the particles, you'll do just fine. But to be honest, most of the time, it's just this. And that makes it very, very easy. JD ドライバーを買ってもらった。ドライバーを買ってくれた。ドライバーを買ってあげた。So you can see how that's not so complicated. I think when it gets included, it's usually just this. You rarely have this double thing included here. So JD に買ってもらった。Right? Or the drive, it's already implied about ni. I don't think it'll really help you. Just understand, oh, it's ni here. Got it. You know, understanding, oh, why is this another usage of ni? It's not really gonna help. And especially when it's just like it's asking, if we compare it to English, it's like, why is it a versus an? Like, why is it not an? Why is it an ear? And why is it not a ear? Why is that? Now, there is a reason, and most, I think, native English speakers understand. But knowing that doesn't necessarily help you, right? Because it could be, I think that's even an easier example With ni, it would be more like... What would it be like? Ni. It'd be like, what does for mean? How do I use for? Like, for him, you know, like for, you know, there's so many ways to use the word for. But learning all of them in a list won't probably help you. But if you just learn one at a time, for him. Got it. For what purpose? You know, those are very different. One of them is about receiving. One of them is for like intention or whatever. But a lot of the time, this is what happens, is you just have Joe ni katte ageta. JD ga katte kureta. This is the most common pattern. JD ni katte moratta. Because most of the time, this is the driver part or whatever is already implied. We already know. We already know. Well, I hope that helped a little bit. Just ran out of time. I'm sorry. I got to get some things done today. And I'm hungry. So, arigatou gozaimasu. Again, if you haven't followed yet, please follow. Or you can subscribe to me on YouTube. Just use one sentence structure till I hear otherwise. Thanks for the pop-up stream. Yep. No problem. Yeah, I'll try to do better with showing the... お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます、カイマナさん。よかったらサブスクライブしてください。また、来週の水曜日多分、Yeah, sure. It's actually like this girl, like DJing. That's why I thought it was like probably fine as far as like getting canceled or whatever. So, yeah. And yeah, I'll be streaming again next Wednesday probably, and I will try to do better with like showing you the plans, but you can expect around this time, or it should have been an hour earlier, next week. 来週。ではでは、ありがとうございました。またね。おつ、ありがとう。お疲れ。